he came into the courts and he says, listen to me, before I fight my battle with you, I got to learn how to come into the things, how to be thankful in the sense of my things. And I walk in being thankful, being thankful to those. I walked in the other day, I took my wife to the CBCC again, and we went in there, and she went in, and then as I was waiting for her, it didn't let me go to the back, but I went around, and I started, I saw this other sister that was there from another church, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she started crying, and she said, I was sitting in that chair getting my chemo, and really nobody knows, Pastor, what's happening in me. My husband don't know, my children don't know, and I feel like I don't want to tell nobody. And I looked at her, and she just started crying. She started bawling right in front of the CBCC. It's like if she saw somebody, like an angel walking in front of her. And she goes, and I got scared because I went, what the heck? Well, something happened. I got scared, and he goes, you're not gonna believe. I said, no. What? He goes, I wasn't sitting in the chair right now. And I'll say, God, thank you for my position, but I'm asking you, I need prayer. I need somebody to come to my life. I need somebody to pray for me. I need somebody to come and speak to me. And as I was walking towards her, she was so astonished about what happened was because of the fact that she had just prayed that a couple of minutes ago, and God had answered her so fast. Amen.
Amen.
But how did that happen? Well, they gave my wife the appointment. They changed the appointment. 1 week, it was going to be 1 week later, and they had called her at that moment and said, oh, you can come in right now. See, God sets up appointments for you that even though it was not maybe for me, because the appointment my wife went to, he goes, well, what I come for? Well, we didn't really understand why she was in there, because they were telling her, oh, this, or just come back on a later date. He goes, why did you call me? He goes, well, we just wanted to kind of make sure and kind of speak to you. And my wife goes, I just don't understand. And I go in the car and I tell my wife, I do understand. See, God sets up appointments for people. God hears people. So when God comes and brings you, he walks into the courts of Thanksgiving in the midst of my hurt, in the midst of my anger, in the midst of my sickness, in the midst of my loneliness. God sets up appointments so that when somebody can come and speak to me, and somebody could give me life into my heart, and somebody could bring me back to life. See, it's that moment that God does those things. It's that moment that God starts to put things in perspective in life. I'm sitting on the couch and the Lord tells me, bail this person out. And I said, what? So I get up and I call the wife and I said, I want to bail him out. And she goes, what? She said the same thing I said. I said, I don't know why, but the Lord's telling me to do that right now. And I grabbed the phone, grabbed the credit card, and I called and just took him out. And when we took him out, within less than 3 hours, he was out. And I said, wow, God sets up appointments. God puts people in the chair, and when God puts people in the chair, sometimes some people don't understand that. When God puts people, there's people that are many times in the chair, and this is why he said he sits in Hebrews, he sits on the right hand of the Father, and he's constantly giving thanks to the Father. And when a person sits on the chair and you come and give God the glory, and you give God the answer, and you speak to somebody, see somebody else on the chair is getting the receiving end of the God inside of you to speak to somebody. That's why in this church we have a value of edification. That's why last night, man, we were here until 12, a line of people speaking to me. And I said, man, we could do this at a later time, but people waited and waited and said I couldn't leave, and I couldn't leave until I told you, thank you for this. And Thanksgiving creates miracles for others. When you open your mouth, God starts moving for others.
Amen.
And it's moments like that that starts allowing people to want to give something back and say, you know what? It's all worth it, man. It was all worth it spending time with that family. It was all worth it being there. Whether it's the same thing year by year. But yet I can tell you, remember, even 20 years ago, even 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, thank you. And when you sit somebody in the chair, you roll them and you parade them and you let them see and say, look at the miracles of God. Look at the beauty of God. Look at what God has done. Look at God used my pastor. God used my leader. God used my wife, God used my husband, my children. Look at you parade people around saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanksgiving, he says, enter the courts with thanksgiving. And when there's a person that walks in with the gratitude that says, you know what, what I'm going through is not greater than what really had happened in my life, because I would not even been here in this chair to even meet anybody, because I was not able to walk, because I didn't want nothing to do with church. I didn't want nothing to do with ministry. I didn't want nothing to do with no pastor. I didn't want nothing to do with no leader. I didn't want nothing to do with no family. And I'm sitting here today because of the fact of that. God had an appointment.
Amen.
God says, let me parade you around a little bit.
Wow.
Let me love on you a little bit. Let me show you around a little bit. And this is what Jesus does. He parades us and walks around. He says, hey, this is my son and daughter. This is my daughter. This is my daughter. Yes, I know she was hurt and abused, and it's very hard for her to say what she feels. And I speak to her. And I use him. I love him. When you produce love, when you say thank you. He said, why do they edify on birthdays? And I say, that person doesn't understand life yet. When a young adult or an adult says, oh, I don't want that education, or oh, I don't want the parties, or I don't want people to celebrate me, it's because the person hasn't lived life yet. The person don't understand that you got one shot at this. And
Amen.
when somebody wants to edify you and give you praise and thank you, when you call somebody that doesn't deserve it and you say thank you, they just haven't lived life yet. They haven't lived life yet. When a person doesn't live life, that means that the person doesn't recognize who they really have around them. They haven't appreciated the people that God gave them, because they have not understood that yet. And when God parades people around, is to parade them to be able to speak life into them. And some people say, well, I can't say nothing. Well, there's something that has to be said when Christ is within you. He edifies. He edified Lazarus before Lazarus came out. He edified the bread before the bread came out. He thanked God. He thanked God for every situation he was in. He thanked God in Matthew. He thanked God and said that I get to be chosen to be for this revelation to be revealed. He says, I thank you, Father. This is an empowerment when a person comes and edifies somebody and speaks to somebody and says, listen, thank you. Yes, I know I told you 2, 3, 5, 10, but I thank you.
Amen.
Because that creates miracles.
Amen.
That creates power. That creates healing.
Amen.
And when people don't understand the value of Thanksgiving, and they don't know how to say no to other things, it's because you have lost something. You say, no, I haven't. Yes, you have. Because this is the only Sunday of 2018 that you're going to ever have, to the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Next Sunday won't be the same as this Sunday. It will never be the same again. You will never have a Thanksgiving service again on a Sunday with your family in 2018. You'll never have it again. A person called me this morning and says, guess what, Pastor? I said, what? I called in sick. And I said, why? He goes, I have to be there this morning. And I said, wow. I said, when people start, says, you could call that a lie, or you could call that whatever you want to call it, or being grateful to say, I got to be there. Call it whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. What I know is what I put things first. My importance is to be next to me and my family and my child for the first time on a Sunday service, to be able to be here. Why? Because I want to put them on the chair of thankfulness.
Amen.
I want to parade them. Can you give me an amen? I want to show them off. Have you ever looked at somebody in the eyes and said, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Thank you. My son, my God. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Guess what? Thank you. We were at a time that we were dying, but thank you for coming in right moment. Thank you. Why? Because I have life in the Spirit. Why? Because somebody spoke a word. Somebody gave a word. Thank you. When people don't know how to have a pastor, they say, well, he's my pastor. He's your pastor. He's all our pastor. And he gives you a pastor. And that's what he does. He gives you a pastor to lead you. He knows what you need. He says, listen, you can't do that. Don't go that route no more. Go a different route. Try something new. Try something new. You got to get out of that. Why? Because it's been a routine in your life, and you don't got too many years to be wasting no more. It's time for you to change some stuff, and you got a new sense, a new way. God is developing new teams and new attitudes and new perspectives and new ways of seeing things and stepping out. It's new. It's new. It's new, and this is why David said, oh, that word oh is not. That word oh is not like oh. That word oh in Hebrew stands for soul. He says, this Thanksgiving is coming out of my soul. Out of the midst of my core of my life. Give thanks to the Lord. Don't ever forget. Don't ever forget. Don't lose that touch of forgetting. Don't do it. Don't forget. Don't forget. Because the past likes to repeat itself in the future. And when you're a thankful person, it breaks the past to give me life in the future.
Amen.
Because you're thanking him for what he did and what he's going to continue to do. Because God fights my battles. And when I was on drugs and I was lost and I was bound and I had no one to turn to and I had no one to say, please help me. And I went to this and I went to that and I went to an AA meeting. I went to a counseling. I went to this and I went to that. But somehow I just needed to learn how to raise my hands and say, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be. Thank you for that leader. Thank you for what you did. Thank you. Yes, I didn't like this and I didn't like that thing. Thank God anyways. Thank God. Why? Because you're there. My brother said something to me last night. He said, listen to me. Some people up there keep on saying that you were hard, you were this, you were that. And you know, and this person's been since then. He's been here for quite a while. And he goes, you know what? I don't agree with that. He goes, I don't agree with that because I think that you still need to do that for some of us that are still here alive, because that's the way we respond to the gospel. And the way we respond to the gospel is maybe speaking a little bit more and intense to us with a little bit more passion into us, because we don't know how to respond with a different way. So maybe speaking to us in a manner maybe gets our attention a little bit different. So when the person says that and say, there's this and there's that, I don't think that there's this, there's that. I don't think that there is that. I think that there's just seasons and there's years, and God uses you for this season, for this group, for this is how he used them. Why? Because this team was like this, and this team was more stubborn and more hard-headed. But yet there's a team now that may be more mature, and maybe you're using a different method for this team. And they're saying, well, he didn't do that for me, and I got this, I got that. The reason why you got that side was because of the fact of that you were stubborn, you were hard-headed, you were in the midst that the only way to get a hold of you was in a different manner, and God used whatever he had to take because he loved you, and whatever he had to do to get a hold of you. And sometimes you say, I don't like that you do that, and I don't like you do this. But sometimes what challenges you is what your breakthrough is. Whatever you don't like to be challenged is your habit that you keep for the rest of your life and becomes something you never want to be. So when somebody challenges something in you, when somebody speaks against something in you, that means that they're challenging something in your core that needs to be broken. And when the root inside of you starts breaking up and the ground starts moving inside of you. A new person rises up. A new person. See, you don't need a new job or a new vacation or a new this or a new wife or a new husband or a new child. You need just something called a medicine called thankfulness. You don't need none of that. Quit looking for something new. Quit looking for a new life. Quit looking for a new thing. Look for the thankfulness of God. And David said, listen to me. The same day that I came into the courts for the first day, you are the same way, and I'm the same way. Since the last day you buried me, I'm the same man. Why? Because the Lord is the same yesterday, and the Lord is the same today, and the Lord is the same tomorrow. The Lord don't change. He said you just never caught it. You're trying to change because you never caught it. I've been trying to do that since the beginning, but you never caught it. He said, well, there's the people that were here, they got saved in the beginning of this ministry. They say, well, they're pioneers. They're not pioneers. They're people getting saved. It took them 4 to 5 years just to get right. And some still taking a little longer. Still haven't got it. So in other words, because you helped the first team get to where they need to be, you felt like you were called entitled to something that you're not, because that first team got discipled and got built in somewhere else. They cried and all the negativity was back there. So when we came here, there was a new team that arose and said, now is your time, but yet you're missing your time. You know why? Because you're tired and you're left behind now. See, God speaks to generations in different manners.
Amen.
He uses certain things in certain times. He used David to get to the cross. Or he used David to pull his son to build a temple. To pave a way for God. Who's sitting here? Maybe if you start forgiving, maybe if you let what you have in your heart go, things will come back the way they need to be.
Come on. Amen.
And because you have this way of pointing and you still have this little grudge and this manners of acting and this quiet ways of isolating and you built your little group that's the same way as you, maybe you're hanging around with the wrong team. Maybe you have the wrong people. Maybe something is not looking right.
Amen.
A powerful sermon for 2019. But the picture of 2019, I want to tell you it. I'm going to tell you the revelation, even though you look for it, you won't look, you won't find it. It's a snake biting its own tail. It's powerful. It's a snake biting its own tail. Listen to me. I know what I'm telling you. Let your differences go. And let God just do something. Amen. Let him put you here. Or maybe you need to put somebody here. Pastor Jesse, come here.
Amen.
Let's see. The Lord says to you, thank you. Good and faithful servant.
Amen.
Thank you for not quitting when things didn't look right and people did not respect you like they should have respected you. Thank you for not quitting when your wife got sick and you wanted to quit. And thank you for not quitting when you got sick. And thank you when your son is going through something. And thank you for not quitting. Thank you for standing. Thank you for you've been a pillar. The Lord said, you've been a pillar for the glory of God. And maybe when I brought out that team last night, It was not to glorify them, but to glorify the Christ through them. Many people got touched because I brought them out. They really didn't know that group together. It's the first group, and that group might not be the best group, but that's my group.
Amen.
And when I walked out of that church, man, I felt like I don't even know if I could be a pastor. I'm young, I'm dumb, and don't know what's going to happen. Because that group stood faithful. We saw last night what can happen when there's a team that stay together, and a team could work together and say, you know what? My indifference is with this, my indifference is with that. But when you let go of your indifferences and you come and say, listen to me, let's just go ahead and embrace. And the Lord said this. I told the men this morning in the green room, I said, listen to me. The first group was the first group that pioneered it. But yet God, this team that's coming up, it's a Gentile team. And what do you mean by a Gentile team? Well, a Gentile team is a team that walked into a promise that they didn't do anything for.
That's right. Amen.
God brought a Gentile team that were not birthed here.
Amen.
Like a man like this. God brought a team that we're not birthed here, but yet it's the middle team, I call it. The middle team, the mega team. The team that's going to get us from point A to point Z and to the finished product of what's going to happen. Not saying that the team is done and the team that is around us is not done. They're not done. But it's just the fact of that. God is saying this. He said, listen, I used that team to get here, but yet I'm using this other team, the middle team. And this is why they're a little bit more older. They've gone through some battles. They've gone through some stuff. They've been there and done that already. So that middle ground is going to take for us to be able to walk through some things and not get hit and quit when we're younger. Can you give an amen? But yet when we get hit and know that my indifference is the picture is bigger than my indifference is. So God brought me here, and I got to give thanks to men like this, and thanks to men like that, and thanks to men like that, and thanks to men like this. Because that middle ground group is, they come from different churches, and they come however they come, but that team is coming together now. And there's something happening now. And what they call the drug addict Rodney, or the big loudmouth Rodney, or the man. Now you seen how this weekend, how God used that man for the man, how he came. It was not the same man that he is today. Why? Because God's maturing some men, maturing some people. Thank you. Thank you. Even you didn't give me all your years. I want to say, for those years, thank you.
Amen.
Thank you for running a woman's home. Thank you for standing the ground. Running a woman's home. I would pass by going to South High to counsel or to do these events, these drug, what do you call them, Red Ribbon Day, and I would go and the whole school's there, and I'm doing an event, but I would pass by and I would see that faithful van with that sticker on the side, and I would say, that looks familiar, that looks familiar. There's somebody there, I didn't know. I was just barely in my beginning years of the Lord, and everybody was rejecting me because I'm new into the city, so everybody's pushing me away. I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. Let's get together. I'm like so innocent, right? Let's get together and have fellowship. And like, kid, move out of the way. Come on now. Let's get together and do this. Let's get together. And like, really, dude? I was innocent. Now I caught the game now. Oh yeah, I got it now. That's right. After some bruises and some, I got it now. But it's men like this that push the gospel of our ministry into the city.
Amen.
Whether he's sown here or not, it's men like this. We want to say thank you. Come on, give the Lord a clap. What are you thankful for? What are you going to put in the seat? Maybe you put a couple of people. Who are you going to? Some people put the people that they just met like, a couple of months ago, and you put them here and say thank you. He said, Let's go back a little bit more into your.
Come on now.
Don't be so shallow. Because you're happy with those people right now. Right now. Right now. You might be happy right now. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. Create a miracle. Worship. Create a miracle. This time. Who are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? And a wife might respond, well, I would like to see that all the time, not just on Thanksgiving. Oh, you just messed up. Like I should just take your car. I should wipe you right now. Messed up. Some men or some wives, spouses or family, they get that phone call and they just say, right away, they say, what do you want? What did you do? Listen, if you cannot honor the change that one makes, however the motive is, and you don't believe in it, don't complain when they're never going to have it. You got to believe in the motive, however it is. When people come to the altar and they say, forgive me, honey, for earlier, I got you mad. I was trying to hurry you up and telling you, man, I hate to be late. Hurry up. And then now I got you mad and your right eyebrow is crooked and, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, forgive me. And the wife goes, man, I'm sick and tired of you doing that. You're always saying she takes advantage or he takes advantage because of the vulnerability of that person being soft to be able to be vulnerable to that person to say, forgive me. So the other person feels entitled now to say everything they've been feeling, which is something that you should not do. Why? Because the person being vulnerable for you, they're being open to you. So that's when you take advantage and say, you know what? I forgive you. Why? Because there's an open space of heart when a person's vulnerable to you. And you only got this much of a chance to get in there. And the only one that can get in there is the forgiveness of God. And the only one that can get in there is the Spirit of God. The only one that can get in there is God. So when you come out with something in the past, you say, well, I've been always wanting this. You just messed up. You just messed up what God did. You only get one chance in a season sometimes. 90 days you only get one chance. And when you don't take that chance, my friend, you might ruin the next 6 months of your life.
Amen.
Be thankful. If you still got a little door, be thankful for it. Go in with the power of God. We can still make this change. We can still turn this thing around. We don't have to be this way. This is for our future generation. This is for our future pastorship. This is for our future leadership. This is for our future. We can turn this around right now. Well, I don't agree with the value of edifying. I don't agree with this value. And I don't agree with the value. Get out of here with that. If your values work, they wouldn't got you where you were at one time. And here comes the issue again. And it's taking you back to be the person that you're not supposed to be. But those values got you there. Why would you thank God for those values?
Amen.
I told Pastor Sonny that the other time. We went to the mountains and I was with him. And I said, Pastor Sonny, at the end of it all, I just want to say thank you for creating values in family. We're family in ministry. And these values of our ministry that we took them personal. I literally took them personal. That's why we value people. And I said, you know what? I appreciate that. I thank you for that. And he looked at me and he goes, you know what? I haven't heard those words in a long time. Wow. And then I felt special, like, oh man, Pastor Augie looking at me like, man. And Pastor Augie starts talking. And then all four of us start having a conversation about the days. And he started telling me a couple of stuff that he went through. He was put on the newspaper and he started telling me all kinds of stuff. I'm like, wow, I thought I was tore up. I thought I was tore up on Facebook. He said, no, that's nothing. He goes, how about being put on the LA newspaper on the front page? And how many people live in LA? Man. He goes, I told Pastor Cindy, but that's just LA. See, Facebook's all over the world. It's different in this generation. We got to learn how to be stronger. What are you thankful for? So right now at this moment, maybe you're thankful for God and come to this altar, or find somebody to be thankful. Somebody that you could raise your hands with. David will raise his hands with his men. in the midst of the desert, in the midst of a mountain. Raise his hand with his men, and they would be praising God before the battle. I can imagine these men like looking out like this, like, man, we have our eyes closed, they're going to take us all out. And they're like, I love you, love endure, His mercy endureth forever. His mercy endureth forever. I can see the man just with one eye open, and yet still being confident what David's doing, but yet following what David's doing and saying, why are we doing this, David? This is ridiculous. This love endures forever, and I'm ready to go cut somebody's head off. David, really? Really, David? This is really the merciful God that you're talking about? These men didn't understand the values that David created in them. They questioned them. They were discontented. They were men that were messed up. There were people that were messed up. They didn't understand those values. They didn't understand what it was. Why? Because their fathers and mothers left them. Everybody abandoned these people, and pastors hurt them. And Jeremiah says, I fired all the pastors, and I had to make a new pastor. Why? Because there's people, these men were hurting this and doing this, but yet David will raise up their arms and say, listen to me, this is the way we fight our battles, man. The way we fight our battles is raising our hands, man. We don't fight the battle with the sword. We don't fight the battle with nothing else. We raise our hands when we fight our battle. Why? Because He has fought the war for us. He has won the war for us. Raise your hands. So when we go into the territory, when we go into the situations in our life, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? Everything's going to be turned around for our good, man. Why? Because it's the Spirit of God in the midst of it all. So I want you to grab somebody, maybe bring them to the altar.